Dirty work. James is a shiny red engine. He always likes to look his best. And he likes his friends to know he's the smartest engine on Sodor. Thomas, Percy and Emily were at Tidmouth Sheds. James arrived. He'd been to the fitter's yard for repairs. He was excited to get back to work. "I hope I get an important job today," wheezed James. The Fat Controller arrived. "I need an engine for a special," boomed the Fat Controller. "The Mayor must be taken to the Festival of Lights at the Scottish Castle." "I'm the perfect engine for that job, sir," James whistled. "Very well, James," said the Fat Controller. James was delighted. "Thomas, Emily and Percy," added the Fat Controller, "if you finish your jobs in time, you can all go to the festival too." "I can't wait to see the festival," peeped Percy. "Neither can I," wheezed Emily. "You'll be the star of the show, James," tooted Thomas. That made James very happy. He couldn't wait to make a grand entrance. "We have lots of jobs to do first," peeped Percy. "You haven't anything to do all day, James," wheezed Emily. "Can you help us?" "Me?" snorted James. "I can't help. It's much more important for me to look really smart when I arrive at my important passenger." And James puffed proudly away to the washdown. At the washdown, James was very happy. He enjoyed having his boiler brushed and his cab cleaned. Percy stopped by on his way to the quarry. "I still have lots of work to do," he puffed. "Can you help me, James?" "Sorry, Percy," sniffed James. "It's much more important that I look smart. Now I need to be polished." Soon James was being polished until he shone. "Don't forget to buff up my buffers," he tooted happily. Thomas puffed up with a long line of coal trucks. "Cling, clang, cling, clang," they giggled. "Those trucks look troublesome," laughed James. "They are," tooted Thomas. "Can you help me, James?" "Sorry, Thomas," cried James. "I need to look smart for my passengers. Now I have to get my funnel swept." As his funnel was being swept, James smelt a fishy smell. "Bust my buffers!" he cried. "What's that?" It was Emily. She was pulling fish trucks very slowly. "These are very heavy. Can you help me, James?" she puffed. "I need to have some special flags fitted," sniffed James. "They'll make me look smart when I arrive at the festival." At last, James was ready. His flags were fitted, his buffers beamed, and his paintwork shone from funnel to footplate. Everyone he passed cheered and waved. "I'm the smartest engine ever," James puffed proudly. On the way to collect the Mayor, James passed the Scottish Castle. It looked wonderful. Everything was ready for the festival, and the Fat Controller was waiting, but there were no engines. James was surprised. "Where are Thomas and Percy and Emily?" "They haven't finished their work yet," boomed the Fat Controller, "so they won't be here for the festival." James felt terrible. "I must help my friends, otherwise they won't be here to see me be the star of the show." James found Thomas. He was still having trouble with his coal trucks. "I'm going to miss the festival," he sighed sadly. "No, you're not," puffed James, "because I'm going to help you." And James did. James buffered up, and he helped, even though he got covered in coal dust. Next, James found Percy in the quarry. Percy was struggling to pull the quarry trucks. "I'm going to miss the festival," Percy sighed sadly. "No, you're not," puffed James, "because I'm going to help you." And James did, even though he got covered in quarry dust. Then James found Emily at the junction. "I can't pull the fish trucks any further, James. They're too heavy. I'm going to miss the festival," she sighed sadly. "No, you're not," puffed James, "because I'm going to help you." And James did, even though he knew he would be covered in smelly fish. At the Scottish castle, the brass band was waiting. A red carpet was ready, and so were Thomas, Percy, and Emily. They were all waiting for James to arrive with his important passenger. "Here comes James," tooted Thomas. Everyone cheered as James arrived with the mare. But James was worried. After helping his friends, he didn't look smart at all, and he certainly didn't feel like the star of the show. "James," said the Fat Controller, "you are a very hard-working and really useful engine." James was amazed. "You're not cross with me, sir, even though my flags are drooping and I'm covered in coal dust and quarry dust and fish?" "What matters, James," said the Fat Controller, "is that you helped all your friends and safely delivered your important passenger. Well done." James was very happy. And his friends all thought that James was still the star of the show.